All right, so we're going to record a little video, another video on the discussion forums. There has been some confusion. It has been shared across the class, and so I thought I would try and mitigate some of that confusion. Let's go ahead and start with discussion group 2. So I've divided the class into 3 discussion groups. Each discussion group has 6 or 7 members, and for each discussion group, there's the same number of questions as there's members. So discussion group 2 has 6 members. There's 6 questions. Each member of the group is going to pick one question, and they're going to start by answering the first half. So for question 1, they're going to start by answering, how does Rauschway define globalization? So that's hopefully what Gordon did in his question 1 response. Question 3, Gary Mills, he is going to start by answering, what kind of immigrants did America attract? And Andrew Harper, he decided to answer question 6 to begin with, and so he is going to answer, why was the United States able to control their empire without a large army? So I'm going to click on Gordon. Gordon did a very crafty thing at 12:37 p.m. He claimed question 1, and then he came back later that night at 8:40 and he actually answered the thing. That's what I'd recommend all of you do. Start by just, beginning the conversation with question 1, and then later on post your reply. So he has an answer. He has page numbers. It's a little short. And then Caesar came in. Now, Caesar actually is in discussion group 1, so my preference would be that you only stay in your discussion group. There's many of you in the class, and this is one way for me to try and keep it a little organized. Gary came in, and he talks about America, all right, with immigrants. There's no page numbers, so that's a bummer. I want page numbers, but he did mostly what we wanted him to do. And then we have Andrew Harper, and like Gordon, he claimed it, and then he came back later on and answered it. That's a real good idea because, as I'm going to show you in discussion group 1, we have 2 people who answered question 6. Uh, One answered it at 9:49 p.m. and one answered it at 10 p.m. So the second person hadn't realized the first person had posted. So please go ahead and always begin by start new conversation. I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's real easy. And then all you have to do is just go ahead and type in the question you're going to answer. Question 6. No, wait, we've already got 2 people who did that one. Let's not do that. Let's go with question 4. I'm not actually going to make this post, but that's all you'd have to do. And then you come down and you add the post. I'm going to cancel it because I don't want to do that. So I went through in discussion group 1 and I put down the questions. That's really all I want in this conversation is the question, just the question number. And then when you go into the forum, you can go ahead and add your question if you want to. So let's go ahead, let's drop in on discussion group 3 with Letitia and Channing. Letitia does not have page numbers, but has a 2-paragraph response. And then Channing, what do we got here? We have page numbers. We have italics. Channing is blowing up. So Channing, all you really have to do is just put in 5960. But I appreciate your diligence. All right. So that is where we're at with the discussion forums. I'm going to real quickly go into my graduate seminar and I'm going to show you what their discussion forums look like. All right, they're doing the same thing you are, they just have less problems with it. So here's Julia, she takes her response, she's got nice good page numbers. Then Darren comes in, he's got his second reply and he's got nice good page numbers. So that's what it's supposed to look like. I hope this makes some sense. So everyone is going to, here, I'm going to give you one more little shot. There was a question from someone. Oh, that was really loud. Sorry about that. There was a question about the forums. So I put one more answer in there, and that is, okay, each person through the course of the week in their discussion group is going to respond to 3 questions. Each person is going to have a first response, a second response, and a third response. The first response answers the first half of the question. The second response answers the second half of the question. And the third response brings it all together, summarizes the first 2 responses, and then explains how that question is important to Rauschway's thesis or whatever author we're talking about. How is it important to that argument? Why does the historian use that evidence? Each question will have 3 people respond to it by the end of the week. So someone's going to do the first response, somebody else is going to do the second, somebody else is going to do the third. I hope this is starting to make sense. I'll keep trying to explain it, I guess, if it doesn't make sense. Um, you don't have to answer all 7, but collectively your discussion group is going to cover the book. That's my idea here. I don't want everyone answering the same question. That's why I didn't just give you one question. And I want some group interaction, not just the whole class going around trying to find 1 out of 21 questions that hasn't been answered yet. So that's why I broke you up in discussion groups. Please stay in the discussion groups. It'll make it a little easier. And thank you for your patience. Bye now.